Hello, Booktube. I'm here. I think it's the second week in a row that I've done a tag on Tuesday, Tag Tuesday. This week I was tagged in a wonderful tag by Heather at Heather Reads. It's called In Your Wildest Dreams tag. And there are 5 questions, but it's not as simple as that. They're a bit wide ranging. Heather has a wonderful channel. I will leave a link down below to her channel and to the her tag video as well. And she tagged me along with a whole bunch of others. Heather was when I was living back in Bedford, and I found out that I had to move. She was, I think, she was the first person to come and help me sort of bring the books downstairs and help me pack of that long, drawn out affair of moving. Oh, geez, I just looking. I see the reflection on my glasses here. Just it's distracting me. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Uh, the first question is in your fantasy time and place to read a book. Um, I don't really have a fantasy place, I suppose. Somewhere quiet, definitely. Somewhere quiet with good lighting. And it would be nice that it's, around somewhere like I could either, if it is inside, I could look outside and have something nice to look at while I pause reading. But at the moment, I suppose my fantasy would be to get rid of my long COVID that I have and to be able to actually sleep properly and, rather than having 15 to 18 hours a day that I need to rest in order to have a few hours that I can read. So that would be my fantasy now to go back to the way I did before. Because if I have the time now, I would literally spend 10 to 12 hours a day reading. Um, but I can't. But that would be my fantasy, I suppose. Number two, your fantasy personal library or your personal library if you have attained your fantasy. Well, no, but I have thought of this in the past, and the kind of shape of the library is similar to what Heather had. The first time I ever encountered anybody that's said something similar, and sort of the structure, the shape of the library would be it would be like a rectangular, but it would be over 2 floors, and there would be a mezzanine around the 3 areas. Like at the one end, well, you come in the door, and you've got bookcases, you got lots of places to sit, but then at the other end, you've got 2 floors of windows and stuff, but making sure that UV light doesn't get in with proper windows and filters on the glass and so forth, whatever is needed. And several fireplaces. I want fireplaces, real fireplaces that you can burn wood in them. But yeah, on the mezzanine, you've got places to sit, but that's not it. Like, this would be a large space of my sort of favorite books, but running off of the sides on each of the floors, it would just continue with stacks of books and just continue of every book that I would want. I would concentrate on sort of classic science fiction, film studies, history, travel, like African travel. Yeah, just like sorry, the list and histories, some archaeology, all sorts of stuff, just continuing on. But this would be sort of the showcase of sort of most of my favorite books in this one area there. And then when you walk in, like basically it would be what you have is you come in. It'd be sort of like a house, I suppose. You come in, you got this big area, but you've got the bookcase, not bookcases, sorry, stairs that come up and wrap around, and then you can go into the mezzanine areas there as well. But it's sort of separated. You got the doorway on the ground floor there, the floor to go into the library, but they're flanked. They're flanked by like I seen these one time that you can buy sort of fake statues and put at the door. And I would have Thoth from ancient Egypt. He's the beaked god. But he's sort of the god of writing, of scribes as part of him. So I'd have a statue on each side, him standing there on the door, and then on the inside, coming out, would be Osiris on the both, because you're sort of going into sort of the hell when you leave the library. But yeah, that would be my sort of dream fantasy library. And it would be massive. It would be absolutely massive, because when you go in, it wouldn't be that big. It would be big, but it would be, places to sit, little nooks and crannies. And then, like I say, up on the mezzanine area, there'd be similar things. And it would be whatever, like however 10, 20,000 of sort of really great books that I would want. So, yeah, I could go on, but I won't. Number 3, imagine you have decided to build a bookshop. What would you call it? Would it sell new or secondhand books? Would it sell anything else? What features would you want in that shop? Okay, well, I have had a bookshop, and it was called Waystation Books. And those of you who know Clifford Simak, it was basically from his novel Waystation, because what is a way station? It's W-A-Y, not W-E-I-G-H, for my Canadian viewers, that you would see where trucks would weigh in. But no, it's not W-E-I-G, it's W-A-Y. So it's a place where goods come and then move on from there. And what is a bookshop? It's where the books come and then they get disseminated outward. So that was the idea of the name. And I'd probably keep that. But I would expand much, much more. Like this is fantasy land here, okay? So we're talking a massive area of books, new and used as well. There would be specialist areas. Film would be one of them, and classic film mainly. And I would have a cinema that would be part of this, or connected to this, that would play classic films and silent films with live music. It would be a place to go for this. And also, too, as part of that would be a 1920s style sort of Chicago speakeasy as well. That would be part of this as well, but not in the bookstore part. But also, too, a section where I would publish books, print books, and have my own printing that it would do. You would have a letterpress, like go back to the old stuff, letterpress and so on books, like quality books, but at a reasonable price. But also have, limited edition ones as well that are just a step up from that. And yeah, it would have, but the specialties would be, like I say, there'd be science fiction, there would be film, there'd be travel, like exploration travel, all sorts. Like basically, it would be a massive bookshop. And let's see here. Now we got, this is what features you would want in that shop. Well, like I say, lots of places to sit. And have good access and good lighting through everything. But you also have these nooks and crannies where you always like when things are too perfect in a bookshop, I sort of don't like it so much. I like a little bit of clutter in certain areas, especially in used areas. And you would definitely have an area that would be just discount books for like a pound, or if it's American 50 cents, $1, so forth. Number 4, one person, not a Booktube creator, with whom you can have a good conversation about books. If you don't know a person like this, who do you know that you wish would become a reader, so that you could talk books with them? I really don't know anybody. There is one person in my life, but he's moved away now, that we do talk about books, even on the phone. But not sort of the same books or all the time. But yeah, there really isn't anybody, and I don't know anybody now that I would, because when I was working and everything like that, it was the people I'd work with. They just had no interest in books, and they weren't people that I would want to sit around and talk about anything, let alone books. And if they did read books, I don't know what they would read. It would be something that I just wasn't interested in. So yeah. Hence, I think that's why I started a Booktube channel, so I got somewhere to talk about books. Uh, Number 5, the last one here. If you won $1 million, or pounds, or yen, or euros, etc., and you could only spend it on books or book-related items, how would you spend it? Okay, to do this, ultimate library that I want, well, $1 million isn't enough. To open the ultimate bookshop, $1 million isn't enough. So, there's no sense settling for less. But if I had $1 million or £1 million and it had to be spent on books, I think right now that I would do it, I would hope that my health would get a little better, and I would spend probably 5 years or so traveling around the world everywhere that I would want to go, and buy books and book related material, because films is sort of, to me, book related material, but and have it all shipped back to a location where I know that's a big warehouse or something like that I was gonna put these books and go through them. It's been 5 or 10 years doing this and taking people along with me, having good book runs, buying books for people, and setting up probably a reader thing, because there'd be some money available there as well, because a million pounds you could do a lot with for a personal thing. And I would set up for areas where there'd be books that would be given out. I would donate a lot of books, but as I say, I would spend a lot on getting books that I'm interested in, and it's the joy of the search, of the purchase, being with people that are interested in books all over the world, and as I say, ship them all back, and however long it would take, 5 years or so, and then I would come back, but nothing would have been opened. Okay, I wouldn't have anybody here to open anything, so I would just spend the rest of my life, maybe, opening the books and reading and shelving and doing everything like that, and hopefully create a kind of library or collection that I could ultimately donate after my time to somewhere. To me that would be a fun thing to do, and it would, like, at this point I think I could do that very nicely. Anyway, thank you very much, Heather, again for tagging me in this. And she is tagged, I don't know, it must be over 20. So if you are interested in this tag, then feel free to do it. But I won't tag anybody at the moment. Thank you, Booktube.